Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. So tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Tell your pappy, tell your mama, Good morning, everybody. Doesn't that song just get you going? I laugh every time I run into someone, good morning. And they say, boy, Sandy, I love that song, you know. I be tapping my foot and singing along. And I say, yeah, I know what you mean, honey child. Big shout out to Mr. Berman Scott. What a talented man. I don't even know how long it took him to write that song, but wow. He wrote not one, but two for me. Wow, so amazing. Good morning, Miss Felicia. It's Friday. Good morning, Damaris. Hold on, let me grab all the links to send out for everyone. I'm sure they're waiting for me. Everybody had a good evening. Did you guys get to watch the UCCI graduation ceremony last night? Congratulations to all of our, graduates. Well done. Absolutely amazing job, I must say. And if you didn't get an opportunity to watch it, feel free to go back on social media. You can see it on YouTube and Facebook. It's there. So yes, congratulations to them. I'm feeling a little bit congested the last couple of days. I haven't been doing my nasal irrigation recently, so I think I got to start that back. It does help, I must say. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit congested this morning, and I noticed it yesterday as well. So before I got in the shower, I did a little Vicks routine, which I try to do most mornings, just slather up my face with a whole bunch of Vicks. Ah, boy. Yes, sir. What the ting? What did we do before they invented Vicks? Ay. All right. Good morning, Damaris. First Lady Jayanne is in the house, says, good morning, lovely people of the Cayman Islands and far away. Happy Friday to you all. Blissful Powell is also here. Yeah, it's Friday. I see you guys slowly getting up and slowly logging on to the live feed. Good morning to all of our Instagram folks. Anagram 7 says, good morning, Sandy. Good morning to you and EG and Instagram. Who is this? The XY Ghost? Really? Do they not know that we block people for those types of comments? Honey child, why y'all like to get yourselves blocked? And then you get blocked and then you come back afterwards begging me to unblock you. Oh, Sandy, can you unblock me? And I say no. And then you're like, I didn't say anything too bad, you know? And I'm like, listen, I can't even remember months later what you said from what you didn't say. That's not the point. The point is, you would have gotten blocked for a reason. And so when you get blocked for a reason, as I'm going to do this person right now, don't come back trying to beg to get unblocked. You don't know the rules and you don't want to play by the rules. And then somehow you think you're somebody special. Well, I hate to tell you the truth, but the truth is, once you're blocked, that is for life. Let me see who this person is. Don't worry, we can take care of you. Oh, let me see. What is their account name? The XY Ghost. John Stone is what they claim their name is. Okay. I don't know what kind of account this is, but we'll do you a favor. And we shall block you right now. Block. Bloop. Bloop. There you go. That person didn't even look like they're in Cayman. So we're not going to miss nothing blocking them. Some wannabe account all over our live stream. Not today, Bobo. Not today. Okay. Everybody feeling good? Buenos dias to Miss Alba. Diana, good morning to you, beautiful. Robert Ebanks is in the house. Irvlyn is here. Miss Lucille says, good morning, Sandy. What's on the menu for today? I'm starving for some good stew. Miss Iva, good morning. So we're going to have a little bit of open mic. I know you guys wanted to talk about a few things. I promised you that Premier Panton was supposed to come on the program, but he is actually traveling, so he'll come on next week. Jennifer says, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sandra, for covering the UCCI graduation last night. You are most welcome. You know who was MIA at the graduation? Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly. She wasn't there. Now, I thought for sure she would have been there because she was at the salon early in the afternoon getting her hair done. So I figured she was getting her hair done in order to go to the graduation. So it's so weird. What a hot mess. Anyway, she didn't go and she sent her apologies by way of John. And, it's just weird that she doesn't go to so many of these graduations, even when she's on island. I mean, you are the Minister of Education. That should be a priority, not the salon. But I thought she had time because she was at the salon earlier in the afternoon. So bizarre. I don't know what to tell y'all. That whole situation is just weird. Anyway, more power to him, honey child. So I got some stew for you this morning, some real sauce. So let me see here now. All right. Okay. Yes, my love. Miss Sanya, good morning to you. Patricia Blake in the house, wishing everybody a good weekend. Cameron, where have you been? Haven't seen you. You've been working a while. Did you find yourself a job? Making us some money? What's going on? I haven't seen you in the live stream in a minute. Brian, good morning. Paul joining us from the beautiful island of Bermuda is here. Paul, has all of your power been restored? Are you guys good? You and Miss Linda hanging in there? Damien says that was to go on the plane. Oh, you think she went to the BRAC this weekend, had to get her hair done before landing on the BRAC? Maybe. What a hot mess. Cameron said, betcha she's on Mall Road, though. What a mess. Come on the program, Auntie Julie. We would love to talk to you over here. Open invitation before the election. Come on, honey child. We could have the Julie and Auntie Sandy show, me and you, hugging it out. Oh, yes. Robert, good morning, sir. How are you? So good to see you. um, Evelyn said she probably heard you would be there. Actually, I wasn't there, so she would have been all right. Hello, Strong Wilt. Thank you. Said happy Friday. God bless you and your family. I appreciate it. Everton, morning to you. Sanya said, Sandy, that so-called premier don't like education. Could tell you some horror stories. Always missing from the kids' glory night. Yes, well, this is something we've been saying for a minute now. It's unusual for her to show up at a graduation. I would think as education minister, that's the least you can do. At least show some concern when our young people are demonstrating some level of success. And congrats to the valedictorian and everybody who got their degree, because, it's hard out there working and going to school, a lot of them, and, making the necessary sacrifice to be able to get that little piece of paper, because they keep telling y'all you need that piece of paper in order to make it in the world. Carneth, good morning to you. She says, thanks, Sandy, for covering the UCC graduation. Much appreciated. You are most welcome. And it was beautiful. Everybody looked nice. I loved, everybody had on their cap and gown, and their hair was done, and they still showed up in time. Abby says, I would pay to see a Juju and Sandy show. So would I. I would pay too. Because Lord knows that would be something. Honey, yeah. Woo, two Caymanian women having a good intellectual discussion. What would be wrong with that? That would be fantastic, Abby. Good morning, Paula. How you doing? Marshall, good to see you. Hello, Richard. Sad to hear that the skate park is closing the end of this month. That's still open? I thought that was closed already. Listen, I guess they're going to build something there. I don't know. They were selling the complex. I don't know if it ever got sold or what happened, but sometimes we create these spaces, and unless government is operating it, it's just not profitable to do so. And I know for many, many years, Michael Miles was doing it out of his own pocket. And, I guess he can't afford to do it anymore. I think he has a school there. And so maybe that was motivation for him to kind of keep it open after school, give the kids something to do. But yeah, what a mess. Barbara, good morning, joining us from the UK, beautiful United Kingdom. All right, so let me tell y'all something now. Wednesday's show has a lot of people up in their feelings. I'm a bit surprised by this. And I want you guys to be honest with me. By the way, we ended the show yesterday with a question, and we're going to talk about that. That's the headline for today's show, right? As you can see. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. But I'm hearing through the grapevine that Miss Heather is upset. She's telling people she's upset because she thinks that I was going hard at her on Wednesday's show. Now, y'all be honest with me. Those of you who tuned in on Wednesday and you heard Wednesday's show, and Auntie over Yeso, do y'all think I was unduly, I'm hard on her? I wasn't hard on her at all, in fact. I know that I was too soft on her. But she is listening to people, because I know she hasn't listened to the show for herself. That's obvious, because she couldn't in good conscience ever say that. Right? So she claims that I was hard on her. And I'm thinking, or people are telling her that, and she's choosing to believe these people. Was I hard on her? Has she ever seen me go hard on somebody? Now, to say that I was hard on Sabrina after she got elected is a very fair comment. That's true. I was hard on her. To say I've been hard on Kenneth is a fair comment. To say I've been hard on Chris Saunders is a fair comment. John, maybe a little bit. Julie, not really. But Heather, I was hard on Heather on Wednesday when I was talking about this project. I tried to stay focused on the project and the person who sent the message and the things that they had in there. Now, there is bits and pieces of information and things that I have to explain for the whole thing to make sense. So remember when I told you guys that I had purposely not spoken to Wayne Panton about her or this situation before the show? I did that on purpose because I knew these little political troublemakers would be like, oh, well, we knew about this show and this, that. Y'all think that I sit down and work out my itinerary of what I'm going to talk about and then send it to Wayne Panton for approval, and then he has to sign off on it, or he's telling me, this is what you must say today? Listen to me. Nobody tells me what to say and what not to say in my show. And most people have no clue what it is that I'm even going to discuss. The night before, I scheduled the show. And at that time, I have an idea of what I'm going to discuss. And like I said, some topics require a bit more preparation than others. So all the information that I used from Wednesday's show, I had from last week, Friday. Because as I got that message, I started to ask the relevant questions in that message. So I could have had that show on Monday or Tuesday. And it has nothing to do with Mr. Panton. Nobody not talking to Wayne about nothing. I'm just like, y'all are so ridiculous. Seriously. Really up in your feelings. How do I know so much about her family business? What did I say that was a top secret about her family? Girl, please. Y'all don't understand the information that I'm privy to. You know that I could tell you, I could tell y'all. Hello. Hi, morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Morning. How are you, baby?
Morning, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, man. Me like I'm a you remember the bus driver where they did win the $50 gift card? Blow.
Is the bus driver, say that again?
Yes, blow.
That had a $50 gift card?
Yes, I did win it a long time ago. No, just a refresh to your mind.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I really leave it to me. All right, you find one wallet, a brown wallet. What's your name? Johnny McLean. I find a wallet with some Visa card and thing, and for $4 in there and some cents.
Okay.
So
do me a favor. Send me on WhatsApp the person's name, a picture of the ID. We'll block it all out and then we'll post it. That's the easiest way to find them. No problem.
All right. I have it. If anything, she can come by the bus depot and pick it up.
Okay. No
I'm going
to
send you. Let me see it. All right.
Yeah, send it right on WhatsApp. Card. Thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to do it now. You're welcome, my dear. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Yeah. I love honest people. So, yeah, people like, oh, how should you know my family business? Please, rest assured, there was nothing that I would have said about her that is not widely known in the public. What did I say? Those of you, again, who listen to the show, did I say anything about her that was like, oh my God, I didn't know that? The funny thing is, when Eddie called in and he said, yeah, I've heard this project has been sitting on the back burner for about 25 years. Everybody knows that obviously the family doesn't have the money to get it off the ground, or it would have been done. I wonder if that's what got people up in their feelings. They think that that's a top secret. You can be land rich and cash poor, and there's only so much you can do being land rich. So, I mean, you got to be able to either sell the land to get money to pay for projects, or you just sit on the land. Even now that they have approval, let me tell you something that I believe. Even now that they have the approval to dredge this, there's a big question mark about where's the money coming from. I think it's a speculative approval from the perspective that, oh yeah, let's get cabinet approval. Now we can go out there, because remember Eddie said, wow, they must have gotten an investor finally. No investor. They got the approval to dredge, right? Now they're going to go out there and say to people, oh, look, we've got this approval from cabinet to dredge here. Now we can finally get the project done. Won't you, give us a couple $1 million to get it done. And I don't think that cabinet should be approving applications on that basis. You should have to demonstrate that you have the money to get it done. Because then you could see how you'd be using that as a selling point to actually bring investors on board to begin with. Oh, mess. I don't know, boy. Y'all just up in your feelings when it doesn't make any sense. I like Heather. I think she's a nice person. You probably couldn't find a nicer person. And in fact, again, my understanding is this project isn't so much about Heather as it is her sister. The application was in the sister's name. Where Heather becomes relevant, as I started out the discussion, is that she is a political person. So her sister, right, politically exposed individual, her sister also falls into that umbrella of being politically exposed. And anybody associated with PEPs have enhanced due diligence and certain expectations of them. And so in those circumstances, you want to ensure not just that everything is above board, but the very appearance of things is done in a particular way. Listen, there is a reason why I have to maintain the same standard for every single person on this show. Family members like, boy, you be going so hard at us. And I'm like, well, I go hard at everybody else. So why would you get obliged just because you're a sister or a cousin or whatever? No. It's a kind of a similar concept, right? One rule for everybody. What would you guys think of me if I was sitting here giving family members a blight with their foolishness and everybody else gets called out? That don't make no sense. Y'all will be fine. Y'all will be just fine. Damien says, doesn't the family own the dredge business? Why buy the marl when the fees are less to dredge? Actually, no. The cost of buying fill, you can't afford it from what I'm hearing. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but for that size development, they don't have it. And that's why they actually said in their cover letter, according to that report, because it's all in the report, what I know, 90% of it is from that report, and not the rest of it is just common knowledge. But what is in that report, Damien, is that they have admitted that the land is not filled to, what was the wording that was used? To basically, let me see if I can open up my PDF thing here, to planning levels. And so fill is required. Let me see here now. They mentioned planning. Let me just search the document. So yeah, so page 3 said that block and parcel is currently in quotations, currently below minimum levels prescribed by the Central Planning Authority. So they're going to be excavating it and filling the land. Says it right there. What a mess. Cameron says how people can be in their feelings when they already know what's going on, who they are, and each other. Please stop using your feelings to make other people believe and think like you. Your feelings belong to you and nobody else. Well, people get into their feelings in a way that just doesn't even make any sense. You've got to be objective. There has to be a degree of objectivity about you, especially when you're an MP. But, you know, it always surprises me, and this has happened. I think I'm going to need some tissue this morning. This has happened on more than one occasion where people claim that I have said something derogatory about someone, or Sandy said this and blah, blah, blah. And I say to the person, please go listen to the show for yourself, because that's not what was said. It's like people hear what they want to hear, honey child. And so what you going to do? Oh, hot mess. I don't know what to say. Y'all need Jesus. Jesus needs to give y'all some good discerning ears because y'all can't even hear properly. Oh, well, I have a job to do. And, I suppose how people feel really can't be my concern. I'm here to speak the truth and hold everybody accountable regardless of who you are. You know what else they like to tell Wayne Panton? Oh, yeah, one day, Sandy, I have something to say about you. And I said, Wayne, well, if you, what do you think? I'm not going to have something to say? Well, honey, child, you know better. So tell them thanks for the advice, but the day I screw up, then yeah, I'm going to be in the line of fire just like everybody else. And it's to be expected. Nobody gets a pass because, oh, Sandy and I are friends. Really? I love when people say that because I just laugh. I remember, who was it that was telling people that? Was that, quite a few people have done it over the years. People go to them, I'm going to go to Sandy. I talked to Ma Road. Well, Sandy, not going to do nothing because me and her friends or me and her cousins. I was like, if that person was really my friend, they know better. That does not get you a pass, honey child. I don't know what y'all talking about. That ain't it. Morning, Dee Dee. Morning, Kyle. Tell me if we didn't get it right this morning. I still like Kyle better. Can we just rename you? So, I have a job to do. Anyway, listen. Strong Wilt says, Auntie Sandy, you better not say anything about me. Listen, it's really easy for me not to say anything about you. Just don't get in the line of fire. I tell these MPs, you know how easy it is? Does the stream look a little bit fuzzy this morning? Hold on, let me look. I said, all you have to do, I'm going to refresh the stream. Hold on one second. I said, all you have to do is behave yourself. How hard could that be? Lord Jesus. Hold on. Let's do a quick refresh. I think I need to come off of this. Oh, I'm not on that network. Hold on.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
Oh, yes. Marshall said Ruth Adams is going on telling people you're her friend. Yes. Right? Another person that I like, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. Whether I like you or not, oh, y'all hear how congested I am this morning? Oh my God. Let me get some tissue. Whether I like you or not, that has nothing to do with if you do something wrong, are you going to be called out for it? In fact, it does pain me to have to talk about these people who can't behave themselves. Because, you're bright, you're a young person, you have a good future ahead of you. I don't want to be calling you out, but if you do it, you do it. And it is what it is. People call me and complain and they bring all their receipts. I said, show me your evidence. And then I'm like, wow, nobody is immune. Nobody gets a pass. Morning, Miss Yurleen. Remember yesterday, now we kind of were ending the show a little bit, talking about, I had a question that I put to you guys. And since then, I've spoken to a few people. They've shared their opinion. And I think I've come to a very, very firm conclusion on how this is going to work. So my question was, do I allow on my show? So we're just talking about this 2-hour program. Come, Miss Stacey. Do I allow people to have access to the show? Thank you. Any wipes? Can I have a pack of wipes as well? Do I allow people to have access to the show in terms of I wasn't really even thinking about guests, but I'm thinking about advertising revenue, right? Because obviously we'll have roundtable discussions. We'll invite people onto the program to present all sides of a discussion. That's how you are fair about the situation. Come. And thank you. So then there is this broader issue of whether it is what would you call it? Advertising, say for example, for the pro-port people putting together an advertising campaign and they want to advertise on CMR, not coming on the show to discuss the issues, but running their ads. And I was like, feeling a little bit like, okay, do I accept those types of ads? Because obviously those are ads pushing this agenda. The other people have an opportunity to obviously do their own ads and stuff as well. So thank you for those of you who reached out to me and who gave me the opportunity to have this, to work this through in my head and to have this discussion. Let me tell you what somebody said to me late last night. They were catching up on this show and they had the following comment. They said, "Good night. Just watched today's show." This is after 8 o'clock. "My humble opinion is as long as people know your stance, and yes, allow everyone to voice their opinion at a cost. Democracy." And I had some discussions with other people yesterday as well. And I think that that's right. That is the most fair and democratic position to take, even when it comes to paid ads. I feel a little bit funny about it being paid, but obviously you can't give away ad space for free. But yeah, if people want to pay to promote political candidates or certain positions in relation to the port or development of the country or whatever, then it is what it is. And I guess the theory being that everyone has the same opportunity in the same access. Before I was of the mind that certain MPs who I know are not the best thing for this country. That's my opinion, right? And I can certainly back that opinion up with examples. I'm like, they're not coming on this show. So now I have to fall on my sword, as I often say, is the thing to do. And I have to say, well, if my position is that anybody can advertise, them coming on a talk show is a form of advertising. They're going to have to pay for it. That's right. And so allow that to have one rule for everyone. That is the most fair thing to do, right? In the name of openness, transparency, democracy. But I want you guys to understand exactly how this is, especially coming into the political season. So when you see now, starting here shortly, MPs coming on the show, even the ones who are elected now that could never find the time for you, that's because they're paying for it. Before, they might have been able to get it for free and they weren't coming on. That's their business. Now they're going to pay for it. And as Cameron says, make that money, honey, chill. Yeah, they're going to pay for the privilege. So in theory, anybody can come on the show. And in practice, anybody can come on the show. Now, let's talk about practicalities, because somebody said to me, I say, well, do you think Julie would really come on your show after all you said about her? And I said, really? I said, what have I said about Julie that has really been that horrible? I mean, all right, we've given her some recommendations about the dress code. I mean, we just telling you what people are saying in the community. We're saying you don't show up to graduation. Well, that's the truth. It's nothing that is horrific, in my opinion. So I don't see, she's an elected, listen, she's the premier of this country. You mean to tell me that your friend, my apologies, that you're premier of this country and you're worried about whether Sandy Hill likes you or doesn't like you or whatever? You have to grow a thicker skin when you are involved in politics. All right, give me 1 second, please. Let me sort out my sinuses.
In the mornings, no one wants to miss listening to the Cold Hard Truth or reading CMR. Cayman's #1 news platform has made your morning commute fun again. Pass this time with the Cold Hard Truth on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Talk radio that's engaging, entertaining, and enlightening. But be careful. Some mornings it's so hot, you might run into a bit of trouble.
So, I even said to this person I was having this discussion with yesterday, I said, listen, y'all claim that me and Wayne Panton are best friends, right? Which is not the case. I need to call Wayne so I can borrow access to his pool if he's supposed to be best friend. Shoot. I need pool access in Newlands, please. That's not the case. I don't go hanging out at Wayne's house and me and him sitting down there drinking. I don't know. What would we be drinking? I'd be drinking a Sprite and maybe he'd be having a wine or something. I don't know how this friendship would go. I keep telling him he needs to come so we can go walking because we both got 50 pounds at least to lose. And he's come on the show. We've had people call in and people send in questions that, wow, that's a tough question or a tough opinion. And I ask it of him and I expect him to answer it. Not everybody. I mean, he is very popular, and I know a lot of you do like him. But remember the guy who called in and said, I didn't vote for you, and I want to know when you're premier of this country, why didn't you do this, this, and this? And I said, okay, that's a fair question. Answer it. Everybody gets the same treatment. Kyle, I'm laughing at you. He says, Sandy, you would blast your favorite cousin, which he's referring to himself. And then he goes on to say, Auntie, Strong Wilt says, sorry, I thought that was him saying this as well. Auntie Sandy, remember you and Sherry Ann are best friends, dying with laughter. Yeah, she's another one. That's my cousin too. First cousin at that. And she's another one that would go around telling people, actually, let me be fair to her now, cousin Sherry Ann. It wasn't her really that said it that time. It was her son, Jaron, who was telling people when they were complaining, I gotta go to Sandy. Well, that's my cousin. And when they came to me and said that to me, I chuckled. And I said, well, I know Jaron, not necessarily the brightest, but he should know better than that. And the irony of it, right, is when I finally had to call out Jaron, I felt so bad doing it because, he's a young man that should try to get his life together. But I remember prior to that having a conversation with Jaron. And I said, Jaron, this was a couple years ago now. I said, Jaron, I am hearing some very disturbing things about you, right? And as a result of that, I am giving you a warning, which a lot of people don't get the benefit of, that you better get your act together and straighten up. Because the next person that comes to me complaining about Jaron did this, this, and this, and they bring their evidence, you are going to be featured on CMR. The young man has sufficient warning, and he's just out there recklessly doing whatever he wants because apparently, especially on this island, everybody gets a pass. Everybody gets a bly because of who you are and who you know. I despise when people say, you don't know who I am? And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Who are you? Oh yeah, all I do is pick up one phone call. I'm somebody. This is why Cayman is in part, this is why we have so many issues. Because there are people who believe the rules apply to me and it doesn't apply to them because of who they are, right? And who they are is because of family names, the color of their skin, or their merchant class, the amount of money that they have in their bank account. These are who they're married to, who their political connections are. These are all of the things that people use to justify why in their brains, they're somebody special and the rules don't apply to them. Well, on this platform, the rules apply to everybody. So everybody gets treated with the exact same way. The exact same set of rules. Oh Lord have mercy. Somebody said, for starters, don't refer to her as Julie publicly. Refer to her as Premier. She is sensitive to stuff like that. Really? Oh, I mean, that's news to me because I thought she was so low key. Stand protocol publicly unless she says, all right, not a problem. The Honorable Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Not a problem. But I've invited her on the program, and I would I invited her on the program, and I would say that remains an open invitation, and she can come on at any time. I think we would have an amazingly interesting discussion. I mean, I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure she's got a lot of answers. And my apologies to all of these MPs for not always referring to them by their proper protocol names. Just like Sir Alden, sometimes when I'm talking about him, I'll just refer to him as Alden because, let's be honest now, honey child. We go way back, and back in those days, there was no sir before it. It was simply Alden. But yes, let us start to practice good manners, class, and everyone should refer to people by their proper titles. I'm sure if my friend Melody was listening this morning, head of the protocol office, she's there clapping her hands, saying, good job, Sandy. All right. Y'all remind me if I do it again, because it subconsciously happens. You notice that sometimes I flip between referring to Wayne as Wayne and sometimes referring to him as Mr. Panton. And, I know that he doesn't mind Wayne. Kenneth, Minister Kenneth Bryan. Sometimes I just call him Kenneth. And so, yes, I suppose, especially on a program, we should refer to them by their proper titles. All right. They say they've earned it. And remember, thanks to Makiva Bush, they're always going to be honorable for life because he made sure he changed that legislation. So even him, with all of his track record, will retain the title of honorable in an official capacity. What a hot mess. Cameron says the internet will pop down when that happens. Listen, that might be the highest ranked show ever. You know what the highest ranked show remains? Over 2,000 people were on the live stream. Even Instagram was turned up with like 1,600 people. We've never seen those numbers again. Was during the last election when we were covering the meeting at the Siemens Seafarers Hall with Sabrina coming into the fold and the announcement being made that she was going to be working with the government and not the PPM. You all were on, oh my God, the live streaming numbers. First of all, the hall was full. There were people standing outside. And then the live streaming numbers were off the chain. You guys were very interested in that situation. Live Happy says, you're right. It's that 1990s mentality that some Caymanians have. That's when the erosion of Cayman began. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Live Happy. I wasn't here during the 1990s. I came back in 96. But I think that this mentality of different rules for different people has always existed. Think about it. Historically, you can look at even who. There was a time when the average person, like just a regular Georgetowner, regular Bontowner, whatever, could never have stepped foot in the political arena because that was reserved for the business class people, the aristocrats, whatever you want to call them, of Cayman society. Go and look at, go look at the numbers. Women weren't really allowed into politics. People of color, nope. Over the years, that has certainly changed, and there is better representation in the sense that, an average person can run for political office and actually has an opportunity to represent the people. Kyle says, I could swear the biggest show ever was with that woman that helped rob Tortuga. Oh, Eve High Voltage. No. Now, her numbers were good. The one about your cousin on the other side of the family that now lives in Belize, his numbers were very good with that show as well. Probably over 1,200 people. But nope, the highest number was that live stream of that meeting at the town hall, of the Seafarers Hall. Good morning, honey chow. Miss Ramilia's in the house. Have a blessed and victorious day in the Lord, she says. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. So, what else is going on? Well, remember last week, Friday, that lady from Jamaica contacted us about her child. Oh, thank you. This person says, good morning. I don't think Julie wants you referring to her at all. I'm reading the statement, and she puts a little smiling, stick out your tongue emoji. And she says, Mario Vibes time was lit too. Yes, that was another show. That was quite a show. So this person says, yes, they can pay and you can ask the tough questions. Payment doesn't mean you change the format. Good point. Yes, that's true. Very, very true. This person says, Fox News advertises for Kamala. You have the farthest reach in media. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So that lady was supposed to get her son back in Jamaica on Monday. I just wanted to update you that those people have not contacted her about her son. I feel so bad about that situation because I don't think they should be withholding, and but now I think what's happening is happening in Jamaica. She needs to contact the Jamaican authorities, file a police report, and then they need to assist her with this situation. I don't have any powers in the country of Jamaica, honey child. None whatsoever. And there's lots of Jamaican bloggers and other people who could assist her with getting her message out there. I think the reason why she contacted me is obviously the mother-in-law or the baby mama-in-law, because they were never married, is here in Cayman. But I'm very disappointed to hear that they have not kept their word, because all of you sat here and heard this woman say that, she was going to return this woman's child and she would have the family contact her by Monday and get it all sorted out. So to hear that actually hasn't happened is, to me, very, very sad. And I simply can't believe it. I expect that when people give their word that they're going to do what they say that they're going to do. I mean, without your word, what is there? What is there? You don't have anything. What a hot mess. Somebody sent me something on Sunday saying, what is wrong with this young man? Oh, Lord, have mercy. What a mess. Some situations you can't really do anything about, and this might be one of them, trust me. Yeah, okay. Give me 1 second here now. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to actually find her message and see. Yeah, so I think that the appropriate course of action now is for her to reach out to the Jamaican authorities and try to, obtain her child back. You can't just go on taking people's children, even in situations where you think that, oh, this person is a good mother and they're this and that. You can't deny a parent because you believe something a right to not have access to their children. The woman said, listen, Sandy, they called the equivalent of DCFS or DCD, what is it? Department of Family, Department of Family and Children Services, DFC. What is it? Department of Family, DF, Department of Family and Children, CFCS. Is that what they're? Well, you know what I'm talking about. Family Services. They call the equivalent of them in Jamaica on the lady, and she's saying that, you know, they did an investigation and what they're claiming isn't true. And so I don't have any way of proving that or disproving that, but I think the general principle is you can't take away someone's parental rights without having gone through the correct process in order to be able to do that. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Miss Sandy. How are you today?
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, can I speak to you about what I was inquiring about your opinion about the MoneyGram situation?
Yes, go ahead and tell us the story now. DC.
No, not me, not me, but I heard a lot of people talking and saying, you know, when you go to send money by MoneyGram, they got to find out, okay, suppose you're in New York, they need to know your address, they need to know your phone number and what relationship you are to the person and all sort of stuff. And I'm just sitting down thinking that is sort of dangerous, because in every organization there's leaks and information being shared, and the part with that, they can set you up to be robbed or killed or something. Why do they have to know your address? Because if you're going, Sandy, to collect money from somebody, suppose your son sent you money and you're going to collect it, or they ain't gonna give you the money until you show your ID that your son, whatever your name is, you have to show an ID, and that's all that they should need to know. But I'm just asking your opinion, because a lot of people have been talking about the same situation. It's a dangerous situation. So why is so much information? What the money is for, and where you're getting the money from, and I understand it could be, drug transactions and stuff like that, but more or less simple working people that are, on the island, and they're working and sending money home to their families and stuff. So I just want to hear your opinion on it. But like I said, you're going to show your ID to collect the money, and they ain't going to give the money unless you can show your ID. So that, I think that's all that they should need. I don't know what relevant it is, what the person going to do with the money. They will spend it forever. Thank you. I would like to hear what you have to say.
Okay, no problem. All right. So as someone who has a law degree, that piece of paper is important, and has actually worked in compliance, I can tell you that these are all regulatory and compliance requirements. And they are designed to, just as you rightfully say, stop people from potentially money laundering and getting involved in those types of activities. So there is something called KYC, Know Your Customer. And part of the KYC protocols is for a person to provide you with some basic information. Your name and address, where you work even, normally isn't considered any type of top secret information that you should be concerned about someone potentially hiding from you. And in fact, your ID will have an address on it, although I suppose you could change addresses without that being updated on your identification. But those are just standard questions. So I don't know why people would be concerned that their money, concerned that their address or other information, because, they also have their telephone number and stuff like that, that's being leaked to someone who might be setting you up to rob you. I can assure you that there would be much easier ways to rob someone than trying to go through Money Express or any of these, not to single them out, but any of these remittance services. Now, having said that, depending on where you're sending the money to, and I know we talked about this during COVID, it is actually very, very easy for you to do these transactions now online, where you don't have to go stand in line. I think it's also much more secure for you to go stand in line and simply do an online transaction and send your money. You can send it directly to people's bank accounts. I have, from right here in Cayman, gone online, sent money from Cayman to a bank account in Jamaica. On that end, yes, I needed to have the person's information, including their name. So Western Union Online, this isn't anything that's unique to Cayman. Western Union Online requires you to provide their information. And when they go now to their location there in Jamaica, if they've never received money in that way before, they actually have to do a vetting process, which is kind of like a registration process, in order for them to be able to access the money. If not, they have to collect it from a location where they show up in person. You see, I know Mr. George is thinking to himself, well, you know, everybody's good, upstanding people in the community, and no one's really seeking to launder money or whatever. But those are the very people that are often used by criminal elements to be able to launder money. You think it's the big drug kingpin that goes to the bank himself? No, he uses people in the community. The little granny that you would never suspect, give her a couple of $100 a month, and then he gives her $9,950 to go and deposit to launder the money, because once you get to the $10,000 threshold, that's where all sorts of alerts go up. So any bank in this day and age, you know, somebody actually was saying this to me the other day about, it wasn't about the money services, it was about KYC. And so I said to them, they're like, oh, you know, actually, let me tell you what the comment was in relation to this bank. I think they said it was Butterfield. I was just curious about which bank it is because they all have the same procedures. And they said to me, this was a comment on Wednesday. They said, is it legal for banks to be requesting your net worth when you only have a small savings account with them? So I followed up with a question, as y'all know, I often do, because I wasn't quite understanding when they said net worth, what did that mean? Because normally there's only certain situations the bank needs to know your net worth, like if you're trying to borrow money from them. So I replied and I said, what do you mean by requesting your net worth? And they said, Butterfield's asking my 26-year-old daughter all kind of financial questions, like if she owns property and a car and where her source of funds come from. I don't feel that it's right when she only has a 4-figure savings account with them. Well, it doesn't matter if she only had $1 in the bank account. She is a client of the bank. And so they have a legal obligation, regulatory obligation, to know your customer. And they collect this information and they even profile you based on the information. So here's an example of this. You say she has a 4-figure savings account with them. What is that? Thousands of dollars? Is that 5,000, 6,000? If all of a sudden she started receiving $10,000 in the bank, they're going to ask questions. Wait a minute. This is outside of the pattern of behavior for this account. This is going to be flagged by them. Where is this money coming from? That is, and I replied to them and I said, well, that's standard operating procedure with all banks now. It doesn't matter what she has with them. Once she's a client, there are KYC requirements for all banks in place. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Sandra.
Morning, dear.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How you doing?
And all the listening public. I'm great.
Yes.
Thankful. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Listening to your show and
Yes.
Hearing the money talk. I have been tempted to call you from some time now about this. I don't know if you can recall where there was a publication in the Compass where I'm not sure if it was government or the banks were advertising some dormant accounts of money that's in the banks and the ones come to claim.
Yeah.
Dating back from, I think it was like in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not sure, but I think I heard on, I would say your Mile Road, but you know Mile Road, yeah? Or
Yes,
Grapevine,
mm-hmm.
that after a certain amount of time, the government would claim that money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Am I right about that?
I would have to be honest, I would have to inquire if it's actually claimed by the government. That could very well be that dormant accounts where they're unsuccessful in locating the rightful owners. Normally the estate, so if they can identify, like say that person has passed on, right? And you can identify the estate of that person, this estate would be entitled to the bank account funds. But after a while, if it's been, 20, 30 years and you can't contact the person or any living family members or whatever, that's why they do those public notifications so that people can step forward. If you see a name on there that you recognize, oh, wait a minute, that's my uncle, that's my dad. I didn't know he had a bank account at Scotia back in the 70s and has $1 million in it. You better jump on it because yes, it probably does go back to the government in some shape or form.
Okay. That being said, and I understand your point. No, if that's a fact, I would like to know if that has been done, and if it's not been done, when will it be done? Because sometimes when I hear about the spending that government is doing, I'm in question like, where's the money coming from?
Wow.
And I'm like, I wonder if it's possible that some of this money has been claimed.
No,
and,
I don't think that that's a significant. I would doubt that that's a whole lot of money, because trust me, most people keep an eye on their money. And I hate to tell you this, but when you die, you hear about dead left. Your family coming to collect it, honey child. So I doubt that there are, bank accounts just sitting around with millions of dollars unclaimed in them. I'm sure that people come forward. And they do go, even in the States, they do this. They go to great lengths to identify who the rightful recipient of that money is and should be. And, they go to all lengths to ensure that they could try to track down inheritance money and stuff like that. So I doubt that government is getting any sort of a windfall from those types of funds, unclaimed funds.
Very interesting.
I would be very surprised if that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah, people don't leave money on the table, honey. Not if they can help it.
I can guarantee you that a lot of these people are dead or in prisons in Colombia. Some of them that I'm thinking about anyway.
Oh, sounds like they were doing something interesting if they're in Colombia.
You notice I was whispering?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I was born in the 50s.
Yep. I hear
I've
you.
been around.
Well, if it's proceeds of criminal activity, then obviously the government is entitled to that money for sure. So I don't know, but they have to prove it, they can't just grab it at will. They have to actually go through a process with the courts and get that the rightful way through a court process. But thank you, caller. It is an interesting comment.
Okay. Have a good day.
Dear, you too. Bye. All righty. So yeah, wow, that is interesting. I don't think there's a lot of unclean money out there. Like I said, you all as family members, you know how it goes. Somebody drop down dead. The first thing you do, oh, did they have pension? Did they have life insurance? Did they have $2 little in the bank? I'm just saying, y'all be looking for them, honey child. Looking for the money. I thank you, DCFS. For some reason, that just wasn't coming together in my poor brain just now. Cameron says, you're too trusting with people, honey child. Situations can be sad, but never surprising. Me or the other caller? I'm not sure who you're referring to, Cameron. Oh, you're talking about me with the little child. I mean, I did take the woman at face value. The thing is, I'm still a believer in humanity. The majority of people out there are actually good people. I think that the bad people, the evil people, I think that they make up a smaller percentage. Most people are good, honest people. That's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know. I want to believe that. And I have faith, because every day I see people doing things that to me They find wallets, they find money, and then they give them back. They're not stealing from people. I think it's the few bad apples, and unfortunately, the apple tree growing now, mind you, but it's the few bad apples that really make us all look bad in a way, right? But I really do believe that the average person gets up every day and they do the right thing for the right reasons. Now, some of y'all say you do the right thing just because you don't want to be on CMR. So I don't know. But yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll still try to be trusting. Only people that don't really trust are politicians by nature. There, because again, politically exposed, honey child. Steph says, well, if you think that she's unfit, then you take her to court and file for custody. Exactly. You don't just keep somebody's child. Susan says, MoneyGram is awful. Trust me. You have to tell them your whole life story. What on earth could they possibly be asking y'all that y'all are getting offended about? Tell Auntie now. Name, address, phone number. What else? Maybe where you work. What else are these people asking for? I don't know. I don't think they're asking for DNA sample yet. I was going to show you all here, it's going to my spam folder. Hold on. Yeah, I see what's going on. Everybody is now is big on security, so they send you these verification codes for stuff, and unfortunately, this one, I'm going to have to whitelist this, was going to this spam folder, and I was like, why am I not getting this verification code? Okay. I'm going to show you all something, right? So it's not just Western Union and whatever. It's all of these companies. So let me show you something now. Okay. So this is Western Union. Now I know during COVID, I spent some time going through all of this and sharing this with you guys so that, because I was trying to save y'all some money. Y'all were, Charles said they're asking for a salary letter as well. Well, that's source of funds. That's to see where the money is coming from. So I was showing you guys this online option of using Western Union, and some of the other ones might have it as well. But this one is what I used during COVID. So if you click on start a new transfer, so you have online transfers, in-store transfers, you can check your whole history here if you use Western Union. Now, if I want to send to somebody new, I'm going to show you what information they require. Once you set somebody up the first time, then that's it, right? You can continue to send to them. But if I want to send to someone new, they're going to ask me for probably the exact same information. I mean, there was no job letter, but they're going to ask me for the exact same information that they're asking you guys here. Email address, name, phone numbers. I think middle name is optional, but they need a first and last name, right? So send to, hold on. I think I need to go here. There's an area where you go and you set up somebody new. This thing is moving a bit slow today, to be honest. So receiver's country. Where is, let me just try to refresh the page. It seems like it's moving a little bit slow. But anyway, yes, so it'll ask you for in Chrome, so I'm using Firefox. All right, so see here, you can do cash pickup, you can do bank account, and then you can decide how you're going to send money. Sending to the US is expensive. A lot of other countries it's like $2.99, which is a great deal. But the US is a bit more. See, now it says Western Union is trying to access my location. Do I want to allow it? So the browsers tell me that. I'm going to block that. But yeah, listen, this is a thing. So, you know, if you want to send money and you choose a different way, I suppose, of sending it, then you have to play by their rules. You can send money through your bank, but your bank has that information on you anyway. Your bank has your name, address, and everything else. Let me see. If I go to receivers, I should be able to add. Their site is very, very sluggish today. I must say, normally it's pretty quick. But anywho, that's what it is. Same information. So, you know, your banks on a regular basis. Listen, I told y'all the other day, I was a bit surprised. Even the insurance company contacted me. And they were like, we need some KYC stuff from you. Promise we won't be asking again, because they know customers get annoyed. Like, listen, I don't get annoyed. I have things available on Dropbox. You want to see it? Fine, no problem. Here you go. I ain't got nothing to hide. So they needed an ID, and because one insurance policy is a business one, they needed the company, like incorporation certificate or certificate of good standing or whatever, to say that this is a company that is still in good standing. And I said, sure, because I had to order one just the other day for some other purpose as well. You do land transfers now, and it's in a company name. Yeah, all of that is a requirement. So Johnny, good morning, says we live in the most heavily regulated financial jurisdiction on the planet. Blame the US and OECD. Well, I can't argue with that for sure. I don't know if it is the most heavily, but I mean, we have some. But, you know, even in the United States of America, I went to a bank recently, well, a couple of years ago. And I was in the US. I needed to send somebody some money. So I thought, oh, you bank with Bank of America. They're all over the place. I said, oh, there's a Bank of America right here in Fowler. Can I just walk in and put the money in your account? I was thinking I could do that. Are you kidding? No, you couldn't do that. I couldn't deposit money from the counter into their account. The bank lady is like, you can't do that. And I'm like, why not? Just a couple $100 in cash. She said, no, you also have to be a customer of this bank, even if it was a bank draft. And then if it's in a company name and your company isn't registered here in the US or whatever, you can't do that. Because I think I had a bank draft or something that could be used in the US. I was not able to deposit it into their bank account, none at all. Because again, I don't have a banking relationship with Bank of America. They don't know me. So they were like, no, we can't accept that money. This is the world that we live in now. Everybody's suspect because we've had, unfortunately, dishonest people trying their best to, crook the system. And so everybody pays the price. Duke Marin in the house says we become Americanized, too greedy. I'm not sure what that has anything to do with the discussion, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. There are these requirements in place. It's moving faster now. I think it was just having a little issue. Mm-hmm. As they say, you pay to play. Johan says next topic. Johan, when you have your own show, you can decide what the topics are going to be. You know what I mean? Damien says the only thing that's not tracked and accounted for is expenses from the Pentagon, Delaware, Wyoming, Switzerland, and the Vatican. Floss Boss says this is why smart people are moving to crypto. Well, I tell you what, Floss, there might be some issues with tracking crypto that don't exist, but I tell you what, the problem with that is you're a lot more vulnerable when somebody hacks into your crypto account and it's gone. There's no way to get it back. Have you guys heard about these heists where people figure out how to get to a crypto wallet and millions, sometimes even billions of dollars just disappear and there's no trail? Your money gone for real, for real? Your crypto wallet is gone and nobody can help you. You can't go to the police because they're like, yeah, the thing that you thought was a benefit to using crypto is also the downside of using crypto. So, recovering from that can't help. So here's a story from July of this year. Crypto thieves steal 1.38 billion in crypto this past year. The figure is more than double last year's record number, drawing concerns from experts. So this is crypto theft has surged in the first 6 months of 2024, now reaching 6 months, now reaching $1.3 billion, a figure more than twice the amount stolen in 2023. This is from a company called TRM, which is a blockchain intelligence company. So last year, crypto criminals stole a total of 1.7 billion from unsuspecting users, while the amount stolen this year is already on track to eclipse last year's figures. Hackers have targeted crypto users' private keys and sent seed phrases to gain access to their wallets, as well as pursued attacks targeting smart contracts and flash loans. And once a crypto wallet is compromised, it's extremely hard to retrieve the funds stolen. And this is according to the Street Crypto CEO. It can be quite lucrative for criminals to spend the time and energy to trick unsuspected users of Bitcoin ATMs and gain access to their funds. Because then that's it. Goes on to say, for example, hackers can attempt to capture transaction data by installing malware or gaining access to a person's private keys or other credentials. And the Bitcoin ATMs are a frequent target, with hackers installing skimming devices on them like they do at conventional ATM machines. And some sophisticated hackers may even rely on remote access Trojans to gain access over Bitcoin ATMs, allowing them to manipulate transactions and to steal funds. And I can assure you, getting it back is going to be slim to none. So, smart criminals are utilizing the anonymity that comes with the crypto market to steal a whole lot of money. There was one person who was a crypto thief. They stole $4.5 billion, looted billions of dollars from crypto exchange Bitfinet, and they were revealing some of their strategies so that the government can learn from them. What a hot mess. Yes. Damien says this is how drug money moves now, on hard drives instead of cash. Yeah. And I mean, I guess to the caller's point, he's saying, well, the little man in the street, how much harm can the little man do? Well, unfortunately, no one, again, going back to how we started today's discussion, no one can be above the law. Oh, somebody says I'm off radio. When did that happen? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Your connection to the servers was lost. Oh no. All right, hold on. The radio feed dropped. I'm not sure why. Let's see if we can reestablish. That's weird, but something dropped out. Let's just refresh here. Thank you to our radio listeners for alerting me about that. Appreciate it. All right, so to get radio back on, hold on a second. You see, I'm not looking at that screen a lot of times, so thanks, Kev, for the message. Let me see if I'm able to log back in. All right, let's play a little radio bed. to try to see if the automated thing will kick in. All right, folks, we should be back online. Thank you so much to our radio folks for letting me know that the stream there had dropped. All right, honey child. Let me see here now. Okay. So yes, I mean, one standard for everybody, honey child. All right. Do you remember the elderly Jamaican woman who shared her story about being given a package to carry? Oh, Live Happy. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I meant to actually do a post on this, but I can tell you that I contacted our custom CBC and that story is not true. Nope, it's not a true story. I think that some people on social media do a good job of attempting to warn people and send messages. And so they fabricate stories in order to make that happen. Customs has no record of this woman. She's never been pulled over. I don't know if she's even ever traveled to the Cayman Islands, but the facts that she laid out in that, I think it was it TikTok video, are actually not true. So why somebody would share something that isn't true in that format, I think is a little bit confusing. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello? 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 I got to tell you something now. Maybe they weren't actually calling the show because remember this phone now has 2 numbers on it, 2 eSIM numbers. So don't call me on the Roque number because I have both of them active. So he called me, call me off air emergency. How can I call you off air if I'm on air? Okay. Kind of hard to do. I got to figure out how to clone myself first. After the show? That's when I can call you off air. All right. All right, hold on a second, honey child. This is some sauce that I think we might all want to know, actually. Any update on the drunk driving in Cayman? What kind of an update? They still drunk driving. I mean, which case? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Hold on one second, honey child. Let me see. All right. Okay, hold on a second. We got some important news for Cayman Brockers. Tell them Brockers to tune in now. including Premier. Yes, ma'am. What's going on? No. I call you from my private number. This is the number you need to call me on. Uh-huh. Wow. I saw that yesterday, in fact. So, but that's happening like right now? After 3 o'clock this morning. Uh-huh. You guys have them over there? Okay. All right. Well, let me warn the Brockers this morning, I guess. Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. All right, my dear. Thank you. I'll let everybody know. Appreciate it, hon. All right, bye. All right, folks. So listen up now. Cayman Brac residents, y'all need to pay attention. Where's my Brockers at? Roll call for Cayman Brac. We have a very, very concerning and alarming message for you all this morning. Yesterday, a drug vessel came in to Cayman Brac, and we issued, as soon as we heard about it, you guys might actually remember, I think we were on air when I got the message about it. Sorry. And we issued put up a post. 3 men were actually on the loose yesterday morning. And the police eventually confirmed that they had apprehended 2 of the 3 men. Now I'm hearing this morning that the one who's still on the loose, and these are Jamaican nationals, they've come in. They this man is considered armed and dangerous. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So after 3 o'clock this morning, they have the firearms response unit from Grand Cayman now in Cayman Brac. Cayman Brackers are concerned that they have not been provided with this information. But my sources are saying after 3 o'clock this morning, he was actually spotted with a firearm making his way around Cayman Brac. So he's been seen on at the West End Park with a gun this morning. So I guess y'all would know where the West End Park is. The Brac isn't that big. So if he was seen at the West End Park with a gun, then that means he could be anywhere on Cayman Brac. So Cayman Brac residents, y'all need to be very, very careful. And I know people expressed this concern to me yesterday that they did not feel that the police were issuing reports and warning people that a vessel had come in with what I've heard is a sizable amount of drugs, so much so that when the truck was removing it from the scene, the truck was like loaded and had to drive very, very slowly because it had so much drugs on it. But one guy is still missing. So it's known that it was 3 of them. 2 have now been apprehended. They caught one. By the time we got around to making our post, we were told that 1 was in custody, and then the 2 were still on the loose, and they caught another one. 1 is still on the loose, and sources are saying this morning he was spotted after 3 o'clock in the morning, and he is to be considered armed and dangerous. Folks, this is nothing to play around with, and I would think that if the police sent the firearm response unit to Cayman Brac to try to apprehend these guys and deal with this situation, they should have sent a few more patrol officers who are part of the firearm response unit to just patrol all of the different areas of the Brac. Obviously, there's a lot of undeveloped areas on the Brac, but to make residents feel a little bit more safe, knowledge is power. I know Brackers, y'all still believe in, not locking your doors and all kind of stuff like that. You definitely want to lock your doors now, today, this weekend, until they've apprehended this other guy. Okay? Nowhere is as safe as it used to be, unfortunately. So, Damien, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any of the details of how they knew that there was 3 of them, but that seemed to have been available information from very, very early on, even before I knew that, they had apprehended the one. I was told that there were 3 guys that came in on the boat. So maybe somebody saw them when they came in. I don't really know how they knew that information so soon. Yeah. All right. So just be careful. Lock your doors, Brackers. It ain't safe out there, honey child. Curtis says he's present. Please spread the word. Alert everyone. And we'll put up something on our social media as well, because I know a lot of Brackers tune in to CMR to keep up with, even the news there. And of course, we are more than happy to provide you with as much news as we possibly can as it relates to Cayman Brac. So we'll post that up now in case you guys are following us on social media. And the Brac is a small community. So Mr. Curtis, you're here. Please spread the word that just lock your doors. If you see anything suspicious happening around your properties, by all means, please. And the thing with the Brac is it is a very transient island in the sense a lot of people own property there and they're only there maybe 6 months of the year. So please be vigilant today. Understand. I'm going to just post this up really quickly. The remaining drug trafficker is what he is. And yeah, a lot of these guys, this is what I say. Y'all be like, oh, leave him alone with the drugs. I'm like, if it was just drugs, but they're bringing in guns, ammunition, all sorts of stuff on those vessels. Okay. All right. And was spotted this morning. And the thing about it, I suppose the police, they're not telling the community because they're like, well, we're out here trying to capture him. But in the meantime, you might want the community to know because they are going to be in a position to assist you with apprehending this. They'll be on the alert. I need to make a Brac trip soon. Because I realized that I don't even have any stock photos that I can use of Cayman Brac, like the police station or anything like this. I need to go there and do a few stock photos and the such. All right. I have one that's like a side angle, I think, of what's supposed to be the police station. I'll use that because I can't do a social media post without an image or video or something, right? So, okay, we posted that up. Be on the alert. All right, so there's a story that just broke. Let me see here now. Somebody said that this guy, Al Valentino Woods, is from Guanaja, Honduras. Okay, so let's talk about this story because this is interesting. And I'm assuming that Renee just posted it on the website. Let me go have a look. I hadn't seen it as yet. I was aware of it, but I hadn't seen that she had published. Okay, so Caymanian among 148 arrested for human trafficking in Florida. Boy, we can find a way to put ourselves on the map. So this person says, well, he's not really Caymanian. He's from Guanaja with Caymanian connections. Okay. Probably most of y'all would consider him Caymanian until he gets in trouble. I'm just saying. So his name is Al Valentino Bennett Woods. Oh, that's where the Bennett comes from. I see. A Caymanian living in the United States. was among 148 people arrested, this is on CMR this morning, by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in a human trafficking operation. So this was a big operation, 148 people. My Lord. Well, maybe he's not putting Cayman on the map, but I understand he's got siblings and whatever here. So he probably has Caymanian status. He Caymanian. We don't want to claim him now, but I guess he's Caymanian, honey Jill. But someone says he is from Guanaja, Honduras with Caymanian ties. Oh, Lord. What a mess. They say he didn't used to be that kind of person. Anyhow, what a hot mess. All right, Miss Gina, good morning. Live Happy says, who is the local receiver? The authorities need to would investigate that. And please note that this is not the first. I'm sure people were trafficked here to work too. The trafficking that story is in the United States of America, the human trafficking. So I don't think he was trafficking anybody to Cayman. In fact, they were arrested. Those arrested went to hotels with the intent of purchasing sex from another human being, and their employers included Uber, Amazon, and Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. Oh my God. Amazon workers? Hillsborough County Fire Rescue workers? What a mess. Wow. This is serious. And even here in Cayman, folks, the authorities here need to be on the lookout for human trafficking because it is a legit concern. It happens everywhere. Remember what I keep telling y'all about some of those Cubans that are coming in? They better look close at that. That's a form of human trafficking too. In terms of the drugs, some of these guys, as we saw from the court case that we reported a couple months ago, some of these guys actually have connections here where they have already sold the drugs or they have potential buyers for the drugs before they even land, which is so interesting. One guy had done that. He'd had a buyer here. He'd gone to great lengths to secure at least one buyer for the drugs. And so all of that was available on his text messages and so on. Somebody says, Sandy, I need to have a confidential chat with you later on today. Okay. No problem. All right. So Brackers, please be careful. Jim, good morning. It says Cubans, Filipinos, Indian nationals, and Jamaicans are and have been trafficked to Cayman. This is a fact. Speaking of the Filipinos, and not just Indian nationals, but I'm also aware of, which country was that again? I don't want to, maybe it was in Malaysia. It was some other Asian country. But yes, other countries as well, Jim. And, I'm of the opinion that there's a degree of it that even happens with Honduras nationals. Some of the barmaids that come here, they come here under duress, under misinformation. They're told that they're going to be, in a particular job, making a certain amount of money and doing this and whatever. And then when they come here in Nepal, how do you know I was thinking of Nepal? Yes. There's been human trafficking with Nepalese nationals here as well. What a mess. Yeah, this is why immigration needs to be very, very careful. And I'm sure that it's happened to Jamaican nationals too. I wouldn't doubt that. What a mess. No, sir. I tell you what. Anything's possible. So be very, very careful. Nathaniel says body parts is the number one in the highest in the world. Damien says Nepal in Africa is next. Priscilla says immigration can't even detect an overstayer. please don't get Cayman mixed up in this sort of stuff. If you guys know that these things are happening, you've got to alert the authorities. Seriously. All right. Hopefully they apprehend that man today. I'd hate to be in the brat going into this weekend thinking you can go lie down on the beach, a nice, quiet, relaxing beach in the Brack, and there's some criminal on the loose with a gun. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, let me see what else is going on over here. All right. There was a man that was found unresponsive or unconscious on School Road. So the police say that they're investigating that. A possible assault after a man was found bleeding and unconscious on School Road in Georgetown. I mean, I haven't heard any additional details about this. I can't tell you anything else other than what the police have said. Emergency medical services were dispatched along with the police to a location there off of School Road, and they transported him by ambulance to the police, by ambulance to the hospital where he was treated by an attending physician for serious injuries, and he remains in the hospital. And he has lacerations to his head and face. If you know anything about that, do let the authorities know, because they believe that he was assaulted. Ay. What a hot mess. Logic is closing their Governor Square location. Interesting. Just FYI. And there's a man here who was found guilty of raping a young girl. His name is Noel Baker, 50 years old. I believe he is a Jamaican national, and he was found guilty. 3 counts of rape and 2 counts of indecent assault on a child. What a mess. So he's been taken into custody, and he'll be sentenced on November the 1st. Really shocking and unbelievable. Hopefully he gets a sentence befitting of that, which should be a life sentence, but we don't need to keep him here and feed him forever, but make sure that we deport him. Another one of the reasons why we should have a sex offender registry is it would allow cross jurisdictional authorities to work a lot closer with each other, but not just the authorities themselves, because they may have contacts, obviously they do. But what about when this man gets deported back to Jamaica? And people in Jamaica, in whatever little community he's going to slide right back into, don't know who 50-year-old Noel Baker is and what he has been alleged to have done to like a 12-year-old child, right? So then what? What a mess. They should have a picture of who he is. They should be able to access public registries. And as they say, forewarned is forearmed. Miss Sue says, what a shocking thing. Horrible. Yes. Unbelievable. Huh. All right. What a hot mess. So thank you to Minister Brian for calling into the show yesterday. We're looking forward to hearing from his team. He did say that they would be in contact with us about coming on to discuss the referendum that's coming. And I think they also need to discuss the cargo port, because I don't think that there's been enough. The public consultation that they had around that, I think the majority of people would say that simply was not enough, and there needs to be more dialogue around those things. And we need to understand what it is that the government, what's the end goal, and what it is that the government is trying to achieve with these. So, the more information people have, certainly the better decisions that they are able to make. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Oh, not bad news. Sandra is something that bothered me for the last over 3 years now.
Oh, gosh.
I keep saying
you let something bother you that long without doing something about it?
Oh, yes, I did.
And I got
sick and tired and fed up with it right now. A cousin of mine, living up in Northburg, up in Breakers.
Okay.
His house top. That man got to keep, and he Monday he'll be 80 years of age, and his house top are leaking. He's been to the politicians. He's been to this one, that one, next one to help him. That man got to keep 6 buckets anytime he getting rain in his house.
What?
To catch water.
Wow. Now he's renting from someone?
No, it's his own little house.
Oh, it's his own little house. So tell me what happened. Why he has all these leaks in his house?
Because the man is up in age. Okay. And he's not working.
Okay.
He's not working.
So did the house get damaged by a storm, or this is just wear and tear?
Rain, yeah, wear and tear. And he's been to many of the politicians, and they promised, oh, well, we'll come and help you out. This one coming, that one coming, this next one coming, and not one soul show up to this day.
Has he, let me ask you some details now. You say he's up in age. How old is he?
80 years of age Monday.
Okay. And he doesn't have any family members. You said he's your cousin, but does he have any children?
He got one, I don't know how many children he got. I don't know how many children he got, but I believe one is up in Europe, something living up there.
All right. So, I mean, the first logical question, right, before you go to government is what is the family doing to assist him? If he has family members, they should be stepping up to the plate. So if he has children, because listen, even if his house got a hole in it, when something happens to him, may his soul, his children are the ones who are going to benefit from that. So what are they doing as the inheritance of that house? So they have an interest in maintaining it and keeping it up. What are they doing to help their father?
Well, sweetheart, just like I say, all I can tell you, one of them is somewhere up in Europe. And that's his daughter, one of his daughters, somewhere up in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, I see up in there, that same area, I see the building homes, government building homes, so people up in there that's not in Caymanian.
Well, you can't get a government home unless you're a Caymanian. So in your eyes, I said you can't get access to a government home unless you are a Caymanian that is then qualified.
Sweetheart, up in there, I know some of the people up there. Based there are not Caymanians.
No, like I said, in your opinion, they mightn't be Caymanians, but they have Cayman status. So legally, they're Caymanians. Otherwise, they wouldn't qualify for a government home.
But anyway, what I really want to say, and I say it, I think me personally, have took this man to some of the politicians. They give him letter, the sign letter, go and take this way, take it that way, next way, take it back to them, and they're denying it. And he's a Caymanian, and some of the same politicians are Caymanian, but as far as I'm concerned, Sandra, you know me, for years, I have been helping out with the politicians, doing all the announcements and all that kind of thing. But it don't make sense that none of them come to me this election and ask me to do anything for them or anything else, and it won't be no more voting from me for them. Okay?
Mm-hmm. All right, my dear. I appreciate it.
Anyway, my dear, thank you for your time.
Yes, definitely. I appreciate that call. So, sometimes you have to start with the people closest to you and then work your way out. I don't have an expectation that politicians are supposed to be fixing everybody's homes. If you and he is an elderly, he's considered a vulnerable man. If you are a homeowner, unfortunately, till the day you die, there will always be repairs and things going to happen to your home. And you got to have a little kitty over here, a little savings with something for home repairs and stuff like that. But when you become a person of a particular age, there is an expectation that people will help you because you're 80 years old. I'm sure there's a lot he can't do on his own. That's why even during the storm prep, people step up. I was saying, ask your elderly people in the community if they're able to, if you need any help and whatever assistance, but it starts with the family. If he has children, I don't care where they are in the world, they have a legal obligation. Hear what I just said? I'm not talking about the morality of it. They have a legal obligation to help their father. Because guess what? As I said to the caller, they will inherit what he has. You can't just expect to sit back and get all the benefits of a situation and not take on the responsibilities. This is, it cuts both ways. So there is a responsibility in them to maintain their father. He should not have to be relying on the government, relying on politicians or anybody outside of his family. Because guess what? Are y'all going to give the politicians his house when he dies? I don't think so. Is the government going to be able to take custody of that house? You know what the government needs to start doing? I bet you y'all will change your tune real quick. As the government needs to start, because this happens in other jurisdictions as well. If we're going to take care of your loved ones because you're refusing to do so for whatever reason, and they are property owners, have them sign that property over to government. And we will take very good care of them. And then when they pass on, that can go back into government coffers. There's nothing that you get from government that's free. We're paying for it. Those of us who have to pay stamp duties and taxes, let's just call it what it is. There are taxes in this country. We can just call it duty. Import duties, government fees, licensing fees. That's how government gets their money. So we're paying to take care of other people. And we have accepted as a society that we have an obligation to help people who cannot help themselves. If you are in a position because of age or affliction where you cannot help yourselves, but you have family members, your family members need to step up to the plate and don't leave you in a dire situation. So I feel very sorry for this man. However, the obligation first and foremost lies with his children. I'm assuming he doesn't have a spouse. Does he have a caregiver? Who is taking care of him otherwise? Someone said ARC, there are nonprofit organizations that could step in and assist. But where's his children? I bet you they'll be found real easy if the poor man dies and his estate is up for grabs. Oh, what a hot mess. Send through the man's information. We can see who can help him. But now I'm really curious to know, okay, one child in Europe. Even if you're in Europe, you can send money and arrange for someone to fix your father's house. He's 80 years old. Parents spend a lifetime raising you children and making the necessary sacrifices for you. Most people accept that the sacrifice should be reciprocated when they get older and they're unable to help themselves in the way that they used to be able to. Marshall says if the elderly man has family members and children, why aren't they taking care of him and helping him maintain his house I bet they'll all come once he drops. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. I don't really I can't blame government for every single thing that happens. So someone says if he lives in a northward or north side area, all he needs is his MP to recommend his house for the Housing Repairs Committee, and they have an obligation to fix the roof enough so that it doesn't leak when it rains. The committee is part of the Community Affairs Ministry, and I believe it falls under Andre Ebanks. It's a service that's extended specifically for the elderly. So thank you so much for that information. And I think this is where I talked about this the other day. People were confusing, I think, this with maybe ARC and other things, other organizations that help with repairs like post-storm repairs and so forth. So yes, that is right. There is a housing repairs committee that he could apply for. But again, that requires somebody, either he reaches out or you're his cousin. You can certainly reach out on his behalf. But I'm going to really suggest that you all should stop. Oh, God. You all should stop. You all should stop going around begging MPs to do everything for you. So in relation to that case, the mother, the sexual assault case that we were just talking about, she has posted on social media that this man is an innocent man and did not rape his daughter. But her bisexual lover, what she said, my daughter names the daughter. This is what a whatless mother she is. Her bisexual lover and my child plotted against us because she wants to go live with them so she can have her way. It's 9:30. Let me come off the radio and address this woman in an after show, a very brief after show segment. Radio listeners, y'all have a safe and beautiful weekend. What the fuck did I just read? Woman, it is no good women like you, white children, poor innocent children, do not come forward. Listen, you should be in jail right next to this man. But you see you? Worthless piece of shit. That's what you are. Look at this woman. Look at the audacity of this woman. He was convicted by a juror. There was sufficient evidence. You are going to tell me something. Why you ran from Cayman? Why are you back in Jamaica? The Jamaican authorities should arrest your ass, send you back to Cayman to serve time in jail, or better yet, could put your ass in jail there in Jamaica. You should be convicted for animal cruelty, for child cruelty. Because you knew, in my opinion, what this man was doing to your daughter, and you permitted it to go on and to happen. Listen, I not got no time for people like you, You should not, God should have never blessed you with the ability to have children. Y'all are so utterly disgusting. And this is why these poor little children are so afraid to come forward. Because they have been cursed with parents like you, a mother like you. How can you believe this no good man over your own daughter? Really? Come back to Cayman if you fucking bold. That's what I would recommend. So the police can deal with you. How do y'all sleep at night? You're a disgusting woman. Seriously. Absolutely disgusting. I'll tell you what I'd like for you to do. I see you have a bunch of mutual friends. Josephine, unfriend this no good woman. Loretta, Tanisha, Cara Rankin. Y'all please do me a favor and unfriend this woman because she not got one bit of sense. Moya, y'all don't want to be friends with her. Wow. Not only does she defend this man, but in the process, she names and outs her own daughter. Then she's posting all of this stuff on social media, but the Crown is making allegations for trial to be heard in your absence. So she wouldn't even be here for the trial because she knows they're looking to charge her, you see? You lucky. Wow. This is shocking. I've never seen in my life a mother. Now I know that they do it, Naina, but I've never quite seen them gone to social media and posted. Apparently she's posting screenshots and stuff too. I'm just having a look here at it. And she wouldn't come back to Cayman for the trial even. If you wanted to support him so much, you should have been here holding his hand. She says, oh, good morning. Not an island. Can't be homeless in Cayman. When will you be returning to Cayman? This person said. This was in March. When I get help to buy a ticket. She says, if I can't see or talk to my child, why is a social worker emailing me about my daughter? Make it make sense. What kind of no good mother you is? Somebody please get me a picture of this woman. Somebody please let me see what she looks like. Y'all must know her, those of you who are friends with her. I'm talking about she's a black queen. You don't know fucking black queen. You're a black donkey is what you are. Black queen, my ass. Oh my God. Y'all are horrible. Wow. This is unbelievable. I would like her picture. She says the judge gave me permission to travel, but the lawyer called and said I need to come back for case. I told the lawyer I'm fighting for my house here, had to go to court and all that time and no money to buy a ticket to come back. That's ludicrous to make it look like I just ran off after I showed up 3 times to court and all the time they reviewing the case. Wow. This is interesting because I tell you what, the court sent out a media alert to the media about how we would be in trouble if our story disclosed how the media, if we disclose identity of the child, but here's the mother doing it herself. Oh, this is her? What an ugly woman. Oh, I can tell you what, she ugly outside and inside. I'm more concerned with the inside though. Interesting. So I will alert the court to this because obviously they need to deal with her in relation to this. Let me see now. Hold on a second. Now this takes the cake, boy. Pure slackness. Wow. I don't understand y'all, you know. I mean, if you don't want children, if you prefer whatless, no good men over your own children, then all right, fine. But don't have children for them to then abuse and sexually molest and rape, and you can't even be there to defend you. Y'all don't know how, listen, y'all don't know how pissed off this kind of bullshit makes me. Like, seriously? I wish I knew her so that I could just, let me not say anything that would put me in any sort of legal situation. Unbelievable. Absolutely disgusting and unbelievable. Keep your mouth shut. That's what you should do. If you didn't believe he did it, why didn't you come to court and testify on his behalf? I hope your daughter never speaks to you ever again. I hope your daughter knows that not every mother is no good like you. She just lost the luck of the draw when she ended up with somebody like you. My God. Wow. Unbelievable. See what they say? She says, make sure to delete the conversations. My daughter self-harm because she saw my arm and stated to my sister on my mother's side that she did it because I did it. What? So you have a daughter who's self-harming and you honestly believe that the daughter would be self-harming to get at you. Really? Yeah. You fit to be a mother, all right. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. I can't make this stuff up. I really and truly can't. Wow. So disturbing. I don't know what to say. What? Somebody on Instagram has reported my Instagram feed. This must be the mother now. And so Instagram just killed my feed. Wow. Yeah, what a coward. Hiding behind social media. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Unbelievable. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You really can't. Anyway, we'll appeal it because, of course, no one is harassing her. She's online posting and attempting to harass her own child, a 12-year-old child. Mm-mm. Well, this one says, and you know if you fail that the chances of your death are really high because she'll be behind mad about you trying to get away. Your only option is to not lose and win the court case. Want to know how to win? She has a history of violent crime on children. If you provide pictures of your injuries and says she's been hitting you, what a mess. So she's even posted up pictures of the child on social media. Wow. This takes the cake. So media gets threatened that, we'll be in trouble with the court if we publish anything that identifies the child. So what happens to the mother now? What rules will be applying to her? That's what I want to know. And you know what is so interesting? I'm going to make myself very, very clear. What is so interesting is that the first thing, and I've seen this in court before as well, another man tried this defense. The most effective and first defense that they try when they say, oh, a child hasn't been molested, they're lying, is they want to say that they're lesbians, they're gay, they're bisexual. I've seen this used as a defense in court before. Oh, here she is now quoting Bible verses. When God decides to strike you heathens down, y'all don't know. And so it is so interesting that this is the tactic that they use. Oh, she has so many Bible verses. Oh, yeah, lost tribes, quoting Deuteronomy, the lost judges, the nation, the Lord judges the nations. He had judged you, honey child, for allowing your daughter to be raped by a man that you would have known what was going on. So, yeah, this is the latest tactic, because so many jurors are so caught up in their feelings about that community that they sit there and I gotta let y'all listen to one. And this is why there's certain things, folks, that I don't tolerate when it comes to hate, right? Because this is why people are able to get away with so much ridiculousness in the name of, oh, well, this person's gay. My child is gay, so therefore nobody could have raped him. Lord, please help me today, because I tell you what, if I ever have to really tell y'all what is wrong with y'all, I want y'all to listen to this this message, right? That I got yesterday morning. Because this is the foolishness and the tactics that are used all the time in order to justify things that are happening in our communities, and gay people not got nothing to do with this. Listen to this message. I hope y'all can hear this one. Hold on. Let me know if you can hear it, because I'm going to play it through the thing here. Here you're not talking about abomination. So women, what she say? Men dress not like women? Let me listen again. Oh, somebody say they can't hear the message. All right, let me see if I can. Let me see how best to play this. Because I mean, I'm confused by what y'all be saying out in these streets, because y'all have a certain hatred towards this community that really and truly you need to get over. So hold on, let me see if I can. I'm like, what does what men dressing up like women have to do with anything, especially when y'all out here allowing your children to be molested and you sit back and do nothing about it? And for the record, your children are being molested by straight people. I'm just flabbergasted every single time I hear something like this, because you find a reason to justify hate against people, a whole group of people, when what you need to do, is oh my God. What you need to do is address where that hate comes from and the real issues that are happening in our community that don't have nothing to do with these people. I'm just saying. Let me see if I can export this so that you all can hear it. Where's the export type? Oh boy. Give me a second now. Let me see. Oh yes, here. So we'll export this as an audio file. And I'll let y'all listen to my response because, you know, again, I just don't have no time for this kind of foolishness. Let me see. Is this the one? All right, hold on. Talking about there's so much abomination. I don't know what the heck abomination is supposed to be, but anyway. Hold on. Y'all need to look at where the real abomination coming from. It is coming from your own family members who you allow to molest your children. It's coming from men and women that you expose your children to instead of you being a good parent and stop living out in these streets and by extension exposing your poor kids to all sorts of foolishness.
So much abomination on this island. There was a Christian island, they changed it from that. Anything coming in now, Tom, Dick, and Harry, all kind of synthetic thing, and whatever they got out there, them Christian people in their dresses and their shorts, these men dressing up like women and putting on roses out there. I never seen that in history in Cayman, but I know they got it to their jacket and their full suit. Why so much abomination on this island? There was a Christian island, they changed it from that.
So,
anything coming in now,
let me be very
Tom,
clear,
Dick, and Harry, all kind of synthetic
folks.
And whatever they got out there, them Christian people in their dresses and their shorts, these men dressing up like
I ain't got no time.
women and putting on roses out there. I never seen that in history in Cayman, but I know they got it to their jacket and their full suit.
I don't have no time for this kind of foolishness when there are children who are being subjected to abuse. So apparently this woman is Yolanda. I believe she's trying to go to England to live one time ago. So she must be over there now. Is she a Caymanian? She had an order issued back in 2011 for her arrest for $5,000. Oh no, that was against the other person in this action. I'm just trying to read this. The notice of motion is adjourned. Okay, no, she wasn't the one that was they were seeking to arrest in that one. Let me just try to read. Yolanda. Anyway, I hope the court does something with her, and I have really zero tolerance for this sort of thing. I hope to God you never step foot in Cayman again, because I believe that they should arrest you if you do. Somebody said, what is she talking about, flowers in a jacket? I don't know. I mean, the hate is just so disgusting that it doesn't even make any sense to me. Siobhan said, mothers wonder why there's no contact. Wow, people is so bad-minded. Keyboard warriors. Gabby says, take screenshots. Yes, I've tried to do that because, of course, you know, the police can show up and talk about, oh, they can't see nothing. So I'm going to see if we can get an investigation sorted out in relation to this. Gail says, this is so true. Your very landlord has a sign for you if you want to do transaction. Okay, we're not on that topic. All right, folks. Let me, obviously, she went to John Gray High School. She isn't Caymanian. All right, let me try to find out. She's the kind of person that should be sterilized, says this person. Yep, she's in the UK. Seems so. Yeah. Wow. So she doesn't have any immediate family here. I think she will be put in foster care. And I don't know what happened to this poor child. Hopefully, she hopefully she gets, the help that she needs to try to cope with this situation. Wow. Ugh, so frustrating. I don't even know what to say. These are the things that really make me shake my head. Total disbelief when you see a mother posting all these conversations and all this in support of a man who has been convicted by 7 men and women. And I can tell you that that's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to convince 7 people that this person has done something. They sat there, they heard all the evidence. Meanwhile, based on her social media, she is Northwest 56th Street. This looks like she's in the States somewhere, could be New York, trying to live her best life. This one's disgusting. She needs Jesus. Unbelievable. You're a sick woman. And I think that honestly, whatever and wherever you are a danger to other children as well. If you can do this to your own daughter. Now, back in May, she posted the Compass story about how the man denies the charges. So she has been supporting this man for a very long time, supporting his position, even before the verdict came in. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Unbelievable. And it looks like she has more than one child. My God. I hope she doesn't have custody of these children. I can't even. This is so fucked up that my brain cannot process how a mother would be capable of this. Honestly. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, I hope she can't step foot back in this country if she's not a Caymanian. Please, by all means, let's ensure that she does not come back to this country under any circumstances. It'd be bad. It would be worse if she was a Caymanian, but guess what? We don't need her here. I'm so flabbergasted. I'm almost speechless. Wow. What a piece of shit. Unbelievable. A mother, you can carry a child for 9 months. Allow somebody else to molest that child, and you guys sit there defending a child rapist? Wow. That takes a special kind of person. My God. And it does look like she has other children. I feel for those kids. Wow. I don't know what to say. Good morning, caller.
Sandra.
Hi.
Is this Sandra?
Yes. Hi. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm sitting here so shocked that I don't even know.
Yeah, do us all a favor.
Yes, sir.
Stop using the term mother for this a monster of a female. She doesn't deserve the privilege or honor to be called mother, mommy, mom. None of those.
Yes.
So use another terminology for this sick, demented individual. And I hope the man that damaged this poor 12-year-old gets exactly what he deserves when he's in prison.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yes, I mean I don't even know what to call her, to be honest. I mean, but I agree with this call. Oh, sorry, I just hung up. He said call her monster. Yeah, I agree. Oh, wow. I mean, this is all kind of disturbing. Wow. Somebody says call her lactating egg donor. Mm-mm-mm. Folks, I tell you, this is why, you can't rely on the people who are charged with doing it, right? The parents, the people who, as a community, we have an obligation to these poor children. Because unfortunately, we have people like her roaming around in our communities. They are so sick. And they don't care about these children. Although, like I said, she should be the one to try to fight and protect this child. Clearly, they don't care. So, as a community, we have an obligation to out these people, report on them, make sure you guys know who they are, make sure you know the type of mother that she is, and something has got to be done. It's just unbelievable. All right, folks. Let me come off the live stream because God knows. If I have to say much more here, it's probably not going to be entirely productive. If you can't fight for something that you gave life to, what good are you really? All right, I'm going to see if we can do something about this, because what she has done, in my humble opinion, breaches a court order. If the court order applies to if it applies to the media, it certainly should apply to the woman who gave birth to her. And she should not be permitted to go on social media and out this child in the way that she has done. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you doing today?
I've had better days, I can tell you that much.
I know. I've been sort of listening and hearing you sort of fall apart emotionally because of this sordid situation. I personally don't have a solution except to say this. It ties in with all of the other issues we have in here in Cayman. And I'll point directly to the lack of that sexual offenders registry. And the reason why we do not have a sexual offenders registry. The same reason we do not have accountability of those at the highest positions of power in Cayman because they don't really want it. And that ties in with what is actually on my mind, which is you will give me the opportunity. I would like to discuss shortly here before you take off for the day. Is this. Yesterday I was trying to call in unsuccessfully when Mr. Kenneth Bryan came on and spoke after what I had to say. Jonathan Adam talking on the subject matter of the referendum. And, you know, if to the point of the subject matter at hand right now, I am quite sure that if we, the electorate, not cabinet, not members of parliament, were given the opportunity, which we should all be considering as our God-given right, if you ask me, to be the ones who make the decision whether or not Cayman should have a sexual offenders registry, then I'm quite confident that that sexual offenders registry would be implemented forthwith. Okay?
Yep.
And that's my small contribution to that matter, which we have been discussing now.
Thank you, caller.
What I would like to ask is this. Did Mr. Kenneth Bryan say that he's going to come on and have dialogue with the public regarding this government-initiated referendum at the end of what he said? Do you know if he said yay or nay on that subject?
Sorry, ask the question again.
Did Kenneth Bryan agree to what you were asking for, which is to come on on Cayman Mall Road and address the public as it pertains to this matter of the government-initiated referendum?
Yes.
He did.
Yep, he did.
If you will allow it, I would like to be given the privilege and opportunity to be a member of any panel who is allowed to ask him questions directly and have a debate on this matter. If that is at all possible, I'm going to ask for that opportunity to you here and now. Okay?
Okay.
If you are willing and able to allow it,
I think that today probably isn't the day to have the discussion. I think...
No. I'm not asking for that today, Sandra.
Yeah.
I'm saying when it happens,
yes,
I would like the opportunity, please, to debate Mr. Kenneth Bryan on this matter.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be him or his ministry representatives, but he did say that he was already in communication with his ministry and there would be people coming on and putting forward their position and explaining their position. So it may not be him personally, but whoever comes on, we will endeavor to have a roundtable discussion on it. And if you want to be one of those people on the roundtable, that's not a problem from my perspective.
Okay. Well, I would very much appreciate that opportunity, Sandra. I know that you are going, you're feeling the pain of the situation and what a young child is being put through by her very worthless mother. Yeah. So I'm not going to press the subject anymore today, but I just point back to that fact that if we had real democracy here in the Cayman Islands and it was the electorate ourselves and the will of the electorate who were given the opportunity, which we need to demand, then that sexual offenders registry, among many, 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 many other things, would be implemented donkeys years ago. And that is what we in Cayman needs to move and strive towards. We, the people, need to have our say, and our say needs to be the mandate of the land.
Yes, caller. Thank you so much.
Have a nice day, Sandra. God bless.
All righty. So she has been in New York, it looks like, since June. And wow. All right, let's see what's going to come of this. I will certainly keep you all posted on this situation. They had the audacity to report me for having this discussion on Instagram, claiming that I'm bullying somebody. Well, you know what? Let me be very clear. Anybody who has touched a child, who has raped and molested a child, anything that I ever have to say about you, if you see that as bullying, then good. Thank God that I'm the world's biggest bully. Because if I make you uncomfortable in your own skin, if you can sit down and defend child rapists and child molesters, right? And I make you uncomfortable because we report on it, we out you, whatever, good. I don't feel no way about that. You can report me to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Kingdom Come. I don't really give a shit. There's some really sick people in this world, and all I can tell you is those of us who don't fall into that category have a moral obligation to stand up for the poor children in this world and others, because there are adults who are vulnerable as well, right? We have an obligation to stand up for them at all costs. So Unapologetic says, while I don't and will never condone molestation, incest, or rape, and for the most part only support these views that you have with respect to the situation or any like this, but why are you talking all this shit about her looking news and gossiping about things none of us can change? I'm not understanding what you're saying. He is convicted now. Good. Let him get what sentence he has to get. Who cares of the mother? She is not there and will not face any prosecution, which she should, but won't. The focus should be is going to be what? The focus should be what is going to be, and then unfortunately it gets cut off. So I think you're asking the question, why we talk about the mother. Well, we're talking about the mother because the mother is on social media, her own social media account, which she has made public, supporting this man and claiming that her own child is a liar, and by extension, exposing who her child is. That's why we're having a discussion about this no good excuse of as somebody said, an egg dropper, because she's not even a mother. So that is the point here. And as it turns out, both based on her social media account, she has been doing this and defending him for quite some time. Listen to me. Yes, he is now convicted. Thank the Lord for that. He is going to be sentenced. But when we look at how to rectify, when I talk about the importance of prevention, right? You can't take a shattered glass and ever put that together the way it was before it was shattered. When children's lives are shattered because of abuse, they're never the same ever again. This 59-year-old man stole this child's innocence. Something she can never, ever get back, right? We can't talk about him and what he has done without asking the logical question of how is it that we live in communities. Okay, the message goes on to say, who cares of the mother? she's not there. The focus should be in what has been done and happened to this child. No. We need to talk about the mother because the mother has some responsibility to bear on what has happened to her child. Both in real terms, she could have prevented this. A proper investigation should be done given her lackadaisical attitude now towards what is happening to the child. A real investigation should be carried out in terms of what has actually happened in the past, how complacent she was in turning a blind eye and God knows what else in order to give this man access to her child. So there's a lot of questions. You can't talk about a case like this and not ask yourselves, how did this happen? How do you have a mother who can sit back and has been for months, apparently, when you look at her social media page, been defending this man against her own child? And she has other children. Are you not concerned about the other children? I don't care if she's hiding out in New York. She's not going to be there forever. I'm assuming she's there on a visitor's visa, and Uncle Sam needs to know what she's been up to. Maybe the United States of America wouldn't be too keen to invite her as a visitor into New York and give her a visitor's visa. But I tell you what, at some point, she's going to either come back to Cayman or go to Jamaica. And everybody needs to know that all of her children, in my opinion, are at risk. This speaks to who she is as a person. This is her character. This is her core. This is her morality. What kind of person can sit there and blame a 12-year-old child for the actions of a big 49, 50-year-old man? About, oh, she wanted to go stay with her lesbian lovers or a 12-year-old child? There's no prison anywhere in the world that is good enough for this woman. But like I said, I wish she would come out to Cayman because that's exactly where she would end up as prison. We're too quick to be dismissive a lot of times. Of, oh, well, yeah, okay, they got the perpetrator, good. Has it occurred to you that thankfully it didn't, but her commentary and stuff could have swayed the jurors into believing, well, if the mother doesn't believe it, maybe we shouldn't believe it either. I'm flabbergasted that during this trial, she was permitted to be making these comments whilst this matter was ongoing, and nobody in the judiciary was made aware of this. That to me is shocking. There's a lot of issues here, and she has breached the law, and there should be something done about her for doing that. It's just a mess. And every other post is about God. Y'all make such a mockery of God and religion that honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. She posted up 33 minutes ago that men go through a lot, especially innocent men. Wow. This woman, the level of stupidity just based off of her social media platform is astonishing. She's a special kind of something. Men go through a lot. You don't think children who are molested and raped go through a lot? You worried about men? This woman can't be playing with a full deck. There is no way that this woman is playing with a full deck. She was probably subjected to God knows what, where she has no self-esteem of her own. And so, she feels like in order to get a man, she has to say all this kind of foolishness. What a mess. I would like to know. Wow. Anyway, folks, if you know this man, I encourage all of you to please protect your children. Even if you don't know him, you cannot trust anyone. And I hate to say that, but you've got to pay attention to your children. You've got to listen to your children. You can't just leave your children with people and not know. I don't recommend leaving your children with people, not at all. But you better know who you're leaving them with. Wow. What she say? That went to court in December. Suppose this day ago. Case on review to see if it makes sense to go to court. Permission given by that judge. One number that I can fly back home because I expressed the issue. It doesn't make any sense what she's saying. Went to court again. The only man judge states that he agreed with me that they drawing the case out. It takes too long. Case adjourned. That judge resigned. He didn't resign. She's talking about foldats. He actually retired. It's like she doesn't understand the process. And of course, making all these comments. Everybody talks about how everybody talks about how the judiciary takes a long time. That's nothing new. Listen to what she put up. Read the screenshots. That man, Mr. Noel, is innocent, and I would never pick up for a man if it was true. Yeah, right. How he a flight risk when the courthouse took his passport? I don't know what she's talking about, but anyway, that man was never alone with my child. Plus, she had her own room, and with the door lock still there for proof, because I got it took out when she went girls home. The landlord re-rented the room. That house is like broken wooden shack. Anything like that going on would be heard. No TV could cover up, no noise. If a pin drop, you will hear it. And her room very close by myself and neighbors, straight up lies. Everybody knows Dog City. I mean, this woman has put so much information in here that if she's not held to account for this, our judiciary and our system is beyond broken. She's included all sorts of screenshots trying to claim. Then she says a day ago that the Compass story is crap. I never lied with no one. NAU rented my places. I mean, the good thing is here, folks, I'm screen grabbing everything because there's more than sufficient evidence to prosecute this woman successfully and to deal with her. And I pray to God that the system does this. She's a sick woman. She is a sick woman. And she's putting up all these rants and raves. And I can tell you, no one is even watching, or not watching, but no one is even liking or commenting on the post, which should say a lot to her about her and a lot to her. Says she was live. And she makes all this public so anybody can see it. Let me see what the live was saying. Oh, of course, Bible stuff. Of course. Lucifer. How about Lucifer? Well, you're his right-hand person, so you should know. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. I will certainly update you guys. I've reported it to the respective authorities. I'm told that they will be reporting it to the judge. And she can't stay in New York forever. That much I know. So if she's planning on coming back to Cayman, I expect that they'll be dealing fully with her accordingly. Otherwise, don't come back to Cayman. All right. My understanding is this child has been taken from her. I hope all of her children are taken from her. And I hope to God that she doesn't have any more. Quoting the Bible 2 days ago. Every post is something about some foolishness about God. Wow. Okay. All right, folks. It's shocking. And delusional is the right word. Diamond Princess says she is heartless. How can she say all these things about her own child, adding more trauma to that child? They should take the rest of the kids from her, as she's not fit to raise them. And I completely agree with that. Jim says that she's sick. Put up his picture too. You know, I wish I had his picture, Marcia, because I believe that all perpetrators' photos should go up. And even if it means that we print, and I said this to one of my writers yesterday, if it means that we print less details about the case for the sake of naming him, that's what we do. The most important thing is to name the perpetrator, put up a picture if we have it. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of this guy. So if you guys, if any of you have a photo of Noel Baker, by all means, get it to me. Right? All y'all need to know that he is a disgusting piece of shit and he's raped a 12-year-old child. You don't need to know any other information in relation to the child. But you need to know who he is. Because he's not going to be in jail forever. He will remain a present, ever-present danger to any society, any community that he's in. Because I'm sure that this is not the first time that this man has done something like this. He's probably been doing it and getting away with it for a really long time. So anyone who has a photo of him, who knows him, yes, let me have it. I'm more than happy to put him up on social media. Folks, please have a safe weekend. Y'all need to just be on the lookout. You've got to be vigilant. You've got to think about the children, not just your own children, but the children that are in our community that are being subjected to abuse on a regular basis. This was something this man did over a period of time, raped her multiple times. There would be some degree of grooming undoubtedly that happened with this child, and she was afraid to even tell anyone. It was only when she was in a safer environment that she felt like she could confide in someone else, not even her mother, and it's no wonder. All right, folks, please have yourselves a good weekend. And again, I hope the authorities are able to deal with this woman as well. See you guys next week. Fresh Joe says some sick people are coming out these days. Unfortunately, they've always been there, but now they get to glorify their sickness on social media as well with these disgusting posts. All right, folks, y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.